Hi, Bill Russell from CrossFit Cleveland in Rocky River, Ohio, here with details for your workout for Friday, April 24th. I'm going to start out today just doing 8 minutes of our CrossFit Cleveland Ab Routine Plus. I'm going to do 8 reps each, Samson stretch, sit-ups, squats, flutter kicks, plank jacks, bicycle crunches, and supermans. The Samson stretch is 8 to 10 seconds per side, not 8 each. You'll be there all day. Today's workout is 5 rounds, not for time, but for completion. I want you to focus on strict work. Each round you're going to start off and do 30 seconds of single leg kettlebell or dumbbell deadlifts with your right leg, followed by 30 seconds of single leg kettlebell or dumbbell deadlifts with your left leg, and then take that same weight and do 30 seconds worth of Romanian deadlifts with both feet on the ground. In each round, you'll do a different ab movement for 3 minutes. So in the first round, you'll do weighted sit-ups. Second round, hollow rock and rolls. Round 3, bicycle crunches. Round 4, plank jacks. And the final 5th round are LRC or left, right, center crunches. So each round, you'll do the 30 seconds of the deadlifts, each leg, and the Romanian deadlift, and then wait for the top of the next minute and spend 3 minutes on strict reps of those ab movements each round. And when you're done, your cool down is a max plank hold. You only have to do one if you can hold it for longer than 2 minutes and record your time. If you're shy of 2 minutes, take a little break and do one more attempt and see if you can get longer. And that's it. Enjoy your Friday. You're going to feel this one for a while. Have a great day. As always, we have demonstrations of each movement in the video to follow, in the order listed. The warm-up movements first, followed by the movements in the workout.
Hi, we're going to start with a Samson stretch. So, Samson stretch, you want to put both your feet facing forward, and you want to square your hips off so that they're facing whichever way you're facing. We're going to take our hands, clasp your hands, bring them up and over your head. This is just a light stretch to start the blood flowing. Some people you'll see will do this with a deep lunge. We're not doing that here today. We're just getting that nice stretch through your hip flexors, into your shoulders, and just hold it for about 10 seconds on each side. I wasn't counting, but I'm going to switch sides. Again, remember, both feet facing forward. You can go as wide as you need or as narrow, and making sure that you're getting that hip flexor opened up in this stretch. Here's a demonstration of the sit-ups. If you have an ab mat, this is a good time to use those. If you don't have an ab mat, you can use a pillow or a blanket or a towel or sweatshirt, anything that you want. Just roll it up and you're going to put it into the small of your back. I'm going to show you a couple different versions, but I'm going to start with this one where we take our feet and put them together in what we call frogging our legs. Every time you do a sit-up, you want your shoulders to touch the ground and you want to sit up and all the way up. I like to touch my toes, but I'm coming all the way up, and each time is all the way back and all the way up. If that's too difficult for you and you need a little bit of a modification, you can take your feet further away or put them up here, and then you can do the same thing and just sit all the way up. Make sure you're sitting all the way up, shoulders touch the ground each time. The other option, if that's too hard and you can't sit all the way up, I want you to just do a crunch, okay? So just think about taking your hands straight overhead, and I just want you to think about your fingertips going straight up to the ceiling, all the way down. Up. You notice my shoulders are still touching the ground each and every time. Here's a demonstration of a squat. For a squat, you're going to take your feet hip distance apart, and you're going to take your feet and just slightly point it out rather than just straight forward. You're going to take your feet out, chest is up, the weight is going to stay in the back and out of your feet is how I like to describe it. Thinking about if you were on a beach and you were spreading spreading the sand away. You didn't want to sink in. Keeping your chest up. Again, I like to keep my arms up. That was a good reminder to look up, chest up. You're going to sit below parallel and then straight back up. Thinking about pulling up through your inner thighs and keeping your feet on the ground. Don't come up onto your toes. Okay, so a couple more of those so that you can see. Chest is up, below parallel, all the way up, squeeze. This is the top, all the way back down. Don't short it here. Get that squeeze in. I'm going to demonstrate a plank jack for you. So a plank jack is getting into that hollow hold. You want to make sure that you're in a nice plank position. From here, we're just going to take your feet out and in. That's one. Out and in. I'm not hopping, right? Nice and keep it nice and tight. That core is tight. Everything is activated and out and in with your feet. I'm going to demonstrate a flutter kick for you. Sometimes we do a 2-count flutter kick, sometimes a 4-count flutter kick, but I'm just going to teach you the 2-count right now. Every other right, left is 1, because 1 is never really 1. I'm going to take my hands and put them underneath my hips, right here. I'm going to keep my shoulder blades off the ground and into that nice gymnastics hollow hold, and then just flutter. That's 1, 2, 3. You could go big if you wanted, but it's not necessary. Just right here, keeping the small of your back on the ground. Keep breathing on these, making sure that the movement's coming out of your hip. You don't want to be doing this, right? So keep your legs straight, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to count every leg, just double that number, whatever it is. Bicycle crunches. So the demonstration for a bicycle crunch is, again, you want that nice hollow hold. Are you getting this? We're in this hollow position a lot. The nice tight core, everything's tight. Shoulder blades are off the ground, and our feet are off the ground. Bringing one knee in at a time. That's 1. Right, left is 1. If you watch my flutter kick video, you'll know that 2 is usually 1. Superman. So Superman, you're going to go lay out flat onto your stomach, arms and feet out ahead of you, head is down, and you're just going to come up, give it a good squeeze, and all the way back down. All the way back down. Each time, if we're doing 10 of those, just squeeze it up, give it a nice hold, couple second hold, and then bring it back down. You're going to do, if we're doing 10, you're going to do that 10 times, not like the Samson stretch where you just hold it. I'm going to demonstrate for you single-legged deadlifts. I'm going to start with suitcase style or ipsilateral. That's a funny word. Try saying that 3 times. An ipsilateral single leg deadlift. So it's keeping the weight in the same hand on the same side that you're going to keep your foot planted. You're going to keep your chest up, don't round over, and you're going to hopefully go down nice and evenly. Go right up there and all the way back up. These are going to work on your balance. If you're not feeling too stable, don't worry, your body will come up to task. The other way to do these is a contralateral, where the one foot is staying stable and the leg that the weight is in your hand, that leg is going to go back. And you might find one easier than the other. All right, let's see which one I find easier. So I'm going to come back here, all the way down and up. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell, or you could go back to a laundry detergent and use your laundry detergent, but the movement is still the same. You're just going to hold it on one side and move it back and up, or again, there you have it.
I'm going to demonstrate a Romanian deadlift using a kettlebell first. So I'm going to come up, keeping my chest nice and straight, and I'm going to pick up my kettlebell. Now I like to have my feet underneath my hips, a little narrower. And now I'm going to hinge from my hips. I'm going to send my butt back and lower down, keeping the weight close to me, and then pop it back up. I want to keep my back straight.
Only go as low as you can. Once you feel your back start to round, you want to stop. You want to keep a nice tight back, down all the way, and back up. I like to go down slow and always pop back up. That's a Romanian deadlift. You can do the same with the toolbox, the rucksack, or our laundry detergent. Holding the handles, keeping that weight close to your body. Let this slide right down the front of your legs. Down and back. Down and back.
I'm going to start with sit-ups. So if you have an ab mat, you can use your ab mat. Remembering you can frog your legs and shoulders all the way to the ground and sit all the way up. If that's too hard, you can move your feet away or even up, and you can do the sit-up that way, or you can do a crunch.
Hollow rock and rolls. That's where we put a hollow rock and a hollow roll together. So first I'll demonstrate a hollow rock. I like to find my hollow by lifting my legs up in the air so my lower back is flat on the ground. And I'm going to reach for my toes. Then I'm going to lower my legs and my arms to get into a gymnastic hollow position. Lower back on the ground, and I rock. 1, 2, 3. The range of that rock is not as important as focusing on keeping maximum tension through your core. So a rock is like a rocking chair. A hollow roll is like you were rolling over. Same hollow position. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3. Try to drive that movement from your core. Not swinging your arms and legs around, but staying nice and tight. So a hollow rock and roll, and if you haven't done these before, they're much harder than they look, and they're very good for strengthening your core. I'm going to rock, and then I'm going to roll. That's 1 rep. Rock, and roll. If you can do more than 4 or 5 of those in a row, you're probably not being tight enough. So it's more important to have maximum tension through your core, maintaining that hollow position.
The demonstration for a bicycle crunch is, again, you want that nice hollow hold. Are you getting this? We're in this hollow position a lot. The nice tight core, everything's tight. Shoulder blades are off the ground, and our feet are off the ground. Bringing one knee in at a time. That's 1. Right, left is 1.
I'm going to demonstrate plank jacks for you. There are 3 positions that you can do with the plank jack. The most common in our gym is on your forearms, like you were going to hold a plank hold. With your feet together, like a jumping jack in the plank position. Out, in, out, in. So out, 1, 2, 3. Remember, these are plank jacks, not pike jacks. So not sticking your butt up in the air, but trying to find that hollow. And they're meant to be done fairly quickly. You can also do the plank jack at the top of a push-up. When you do that, make sure you're corkscrewing your hands into the ground. Get a good position with your shoulders. Don't let them ride forward, but up. Straight, plank, out, in, out, in, out, in. And the hardest, and it's a good challenge, try to do it at the bottom of a push-up. Hold yourself right off the floor. Those are 3 variations of plank jacks.
LRC crunches. I don't know if we actually made these up or somebody else did, but we're going to go over the movement. If you have an ab mat, you should bring your ab mat over, roll up a towel underneath the small of your back if you'd like. The movement, we're going to still frog our legs, and our shoulders are still going to start on the ground for each of these. I want you to think about taking a pause at each place that I'm going to stop. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So shoulders starting on the ground, I'm going to crunch to the left, pause. Right, pause. Center, pause. if you are doing these correctly, you're gonna feel them. If you're just flying through it, it's not gonna really do a whole lot for you. All right, so we're gonna go left, right, center. That's one. Left, right, center. That's two. If you have a little bit of weight and you wanted to add some weight to it, and you really don't need it, but if you have, I don't know, 5, 10 pounds, anything more than that you shouldn't really need. But if you have something light, you can do that as well. I prefer in this position, right there. You can do that as well. Enjoy those.